Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with President Joan Laporta, who have recently confirmed that Barcelona cannot sign players in January. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about Usman Dembele, as transfer expert Fabrizio Romano have reported that Barca are planning a new contract for the 25-year-old attacker. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona did go hard and fast in the summer transfer window, but were unable to sign players in all positions that needed coverage. Deals for Hector Bellerin and Marcos Alonso were completed only on deadline day, for example. Apart from that, they failed to sign a backup for Sergio Busquets, partly because Miralem Pjanic decided to leave the club for Al Sharjah in search for game time. Their problems are further worsened as Gerard Piqué has announced his retirement midway through the season, which leave FC Barcelona with 4 rather than injury-riddled centre-backs. Unfortunately, it seems the Catalans will not be able to go as hard as they would have liked in January due to La Liga financial fair play rules. President Joan Laporta confirmed in an interview recently with EFE, he said, "According to La Liga's FFP, that is financial fair play, we cannot sign players in January. We are trying our best to persuade the league to be more flexible," he said. If rumors are true, Barcelona had a fair few players on their radar for the winter. Athletic Club's Inigo Martinez was one leading the race in central defense due to his contract, which expires in July 2023. Other names such as Wolverhampton Wanderers' Ruben Neves, Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi, Leicester City's Yuri Tielemans, Manchester City's Ilkay Gundogan, and Girona's Arnaud Martinez were also floating with mostly credible backing. If Barcelona are unable to sign players in January, their attention will shift towards renewing a few key players, such as Alejandro Balde, who has impressed fans and coaches alike with his breakthrough season. Alonso's renewal is also very much on the table, to the surprise of the Camp Nou faithful. On the other hand, the Blaugranas will also deal with the departure of a couple of players, starting with Memphis Depay. The Dutchman has a contract until the summer of next year, and the club will hope to put him for sale in January in the hopes of raising money. So after all the links we have been talking about, here we see our President Laporta saying that it might just be impossible for us to sign players due to financial fair play. To be honest, it's going to be a big blow if that happens. Financial fair play in La Liga have always been an issue. It have always been an issue, and always going against Barcelona most of the times, because we all know that our finances, were not really that strong. Since Bartomeu was president, things have gone upside down. Laporta up to now is trying to ensure that there is that financial stability at the club. And that is why when we saw during the summer transfer window, the Barca board had to sell their TV rights, sell some things like that, very important assets of the club, sell some percentages of it just to sign these players, because all that was just risk. Because you don't take that risk, Barca could have still been where they were last season, because our squad last season was absolute shit. And honestly speaking, had it been the club were scared to take that risk of activating economic levers and things like that, then just imagine where we could have been today or this season. So it's just about risk. But right now, from what we are getting, Barca can't further sell their levers. They can't. La Liga won't accept that again. I don't know if they have reached a limit, and fair play rules will still not even allow them to renew their contract next year. So that is where the problem lies as it stands to the club. So I think it's gonna be a blow because most of the times I've been talking about the transfer links. A lot of players have been linked: defensive midfielders, defenders, right back. But from the look of things, since we have heard from the horse's mouth, Laporta himself has said we might not even sign nobody in January, and he tried to specify why should it be so. Financial fair play in La Liga. Then, moving on to the next story of discussion, Barcelona wrapped up a fair few transfers in the summer, bringing in the likes of Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, Jules Koundé, among others. They also managed to rid themselves of the deadwood in the team to a large extent. However, none of the deals occupied nearly as much as transfer window as Ousmane Dembele's contract renewal. The Frenchman was reportedly not ready to pen a new deal with Barcelona on the advice of his agent and only settled for a 2-year contract. That too after his initial agreement had officially ended. No more than 4 months into the renewal, though, Barcelona are planning to open talks with the Frenchman over an extension, according to Fabrizio Romano. Dembele's contract was built in such a way that his release clause was pulled down to €100 million for the summer of 2022 and would further drop to €50 million next year. Barcelona would want to hand him an extension before that happens and are already satisfied with his performances halfway into the season. Joan Laporta has already hinted at a possible new deal for Ousmane Dembele, saying, "Ousmane is happy and motivated. There will be a time to talk about renewals." In any case, neither party is expected to enter formal discussions anytime before the World Cup ends. Dembele's performances through the tournament could heavily influence his new contract at the club. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do ensure to subscribe so you always stay up to date. Until next time, it's bye for now.